I am not able to finish my work on time. I procrastinate a lot and spend time on social media. I am stuck in this loop of delaying things which makes me anxious. I always do things at the last moment. If you also face these issues, let's try to solve them in today's video.
My name is Anmol. I'm a mental health practitioner, counselor, psychologist, career coach, life coach, and life skills trainer. I'm here to share my insights and learnings with you to tackle life challenges and attain your highest potential. Let's create balance in your life.
Hi everyone, I hope all of you are doing great. Welcome to my channel Ask Life with Anmol. With the advent of social media and internet, we are spending at least 4 to 5 hours a day on these social media applications. And it is leading to a common problem today, that is procrastination. We all are procrastinating a lot with our work, with our study, with our mental health, with our physical health. So today's video will be about understanding how does this procrastination work? What are the reasons behind procrastination? And in the end, we will provide you a tool to stop this procrastination for long run. So first, let's try to understand the reason behind it. So there is a neurotransmitter called dopamine, which enhances our happiness at the moment. So when you look at a reel or a short, it enhances your happiness and then you stuck in a loop to have that dopamine rush in your mind. So we need to differentiate in our real world and the real world. Real world does not teach you instant gratification of dopamine. You have to work hard to achieve anything. But on social media, you are getting it or just a click. So that's the issue why this is happening. The major factor of procrastination is that we don't try to divide it into different spheres. We overthink a lot and mix different work and study work and different areas of life in our head. So first thing you need to do is, on a deep level, understand why do you procrastinate? Is it a particular area that you procrastinate? Because most of the time, a lot of videos are available for stopping procrastination using tools. Tools will not work if your psychology, if your mind is not fixated to that particular area of life. So there are 6 areas of life that we discussed, and let's try to understand the fear behind procrastination that we all have in these 6 areas. In the life area of education, if you are a student, you might have a fear of failure, or you might have taken a subject or you are studying in college based upon your parents' choices. You never liked them. So it is very normal to procrastinate. If it is very normal to get distracted if you are not in the right career. So if you feel like you are procrastinating in the study life area, you first need to identify whether my skills and abilities are suited for this career or not. Do I want to switch? Do I have the capability to switch this career? That will be the root cause of stopping procrastination in the area of study. Second area is career. So most of the people, again, are not passionate about their job. That's why they procrastinate things. That is related to my intrinsic motivation. On the other hand, if I don't like the environment, the people in my workplace, then what happens? I stop doing things, right? Or let's say if I have in my mind that I want to switch the job, I will stop working, or I feel distracted in that particular work. So I stop working in that area and start procrastinating in the area of career. So try to understand in this area, do you want to have a switch? Is your career going in the right direction? And that will stop you from procrastinating in this area. Third life area of procrastination is relationship. So the deeper layer of procrastination in this area is if you have a fear of rejection. You don't take steps to commit to a relationship. Or you think that my past is there. You have a baggage from your past. That's why you're not committing to a relationship. So is this the fear of rejection that you are having, that you're not committing to a relationship? Or is it that you have some past traumas related to relationship? Next life area is mental health. So in the case of mental health, you can start meditation, you can start therapy, but people are not doing it. Why? Because they don't want to face the negative emotions. Everyone wants to be happy. So try to understand your problem of procrastination in the area of mental health. Is this the case with you? That why are you negating the negative emotions? Or are you the problem? So try to understand why are you procrastinating in the area of mental health. The fifth area of procrastination is physical health. So it can be delaying any kind of exercise. You want to go to gym, you want to have a walk, you want to do yoga sessions, but you're not doing it. Is this a fear of physical pain that you don't want to have? Or you don't have a wrong perception of your body? So try to understand why are you negating this particular area and procrastinating in this area. What fears do you have in the physical health category? The next one we have, the last area, is money and personal finances. Are you procrastinating to save money? Do you overspend a lot? And why are you doing it? Is this a kind of FOMO, fear of missing out from experiences? Let's say somebody is going on a trip, somebody is eating in a fancy restaurant and you want to go there, right? So you overspend. And then later you regret, at the cost of these experiences, I'm not able to save anything for the future. So try to understand, why are you doing this? Is this a normal habit? Or is there a fear of losing out on the constant experiences done by your peers or colleagues? So I hope in these 6 areas, the first step to stop procrastination is find out which area are you procrastinating. I'll repeat again. Is it your career? Is it your educational qualification or study? Is it your relationship? Is it your mental health? Is it your physical health? Or is it your money and personal finances? So pause the video, you can go through those areas again and write down in your notebook which area are you procrastinating out of these 6 areas. Now once you have identified the area that you want to work in procrastination, let's try to help you with a psychologically tested tool called Eisenhower Matrix. I want you to carry yourself a pen and a notebook for this because it will help you stop procrastination in the longer run. Now what is this matrix? I want you to draw 2 axes, x-axis and y-axis. In the x-axis, I want you to draw as urgent tasks, and on the y-axis, I want you to draw the important. So make these 2 axes. Within these 2 axes, make it into 4 quadrants, right? So the extreme quadrant will be urgent and important. The left hand side would be important but not urgent. The lowest one would be your not important, not urgent. And the right hand side would be your urgent but not important. Right? So please make this matrix for you. And let's try to understand what are these 4 quadrants. So urgent and important tasks are generally related to our career and education. So let's say if you are a student, you are studying currently, so going to your classes, making notes, preparing for competitive examination, this will come under your important and urgent category. If you are a working professional, so your day-to-day tasks, so let's say if you are a video editor, editing the videos, or you are an HR manager, so recruitment, training and development. If you are a software engineer, right, so doing coding. So those are your day-to-day tasks that you are involved. These are important also to you and these are urgent also. This everyone is sorted with, right, in this area, because we as individuals are conditioned to focus on our career and education more. Now let's move to the second quadrant, which is important but not urgent, right? So in this area comes the other categories. For example, your mental health, your physical health, your relationships, right? So for example, if you want to do meditation, that is important to you. That's not urgent, right? Currently. Physical health, you have to go to gym, start yoga, do walking. It is important for you, but not urgent. And lastly, relationships. Let's say you are living alone, calling your parents, calling your friends and family members, right? that is a mandatory important thing. But it is again not urgent. There is no urgency involved in it. So most of the people, what they make this as a mistake is they wait for the moment when all these second quadrant things move to the first quadrant. Let's say you get a very major disease, right? Then this quadrant of physical health moves to the important and urgent category. Then you start doing yoga, then you start doing physical exercises, right? You start having physical and emotional disorders, right? So again, you start taking therapy because now this thing has converted into important and urgent. And lastly, let's say you are having problems in a relationship, right? So somebody is leaving, you are having a divorce, you are having a breakup, then this area moves into the first category and that becomes a problem. So we wait for it. We wait for all these situations to move into the first quadrant, right? So I hope these two quadrants are clear to you, important and urgent, and important but not urgent. The third quadrant is your urgent but not important. This can be your day-to-day activities or routines. For example, let's say cleaning your home, cleaning your bed, doing household chores, doing grocery shopping, all these things, right? These are not that important to you, but these are urgent for you. It can be some favors you are giving to other people, right? Let's say colleague asking you a favor. If you're a student, your friends asking you a favor to help them in a project like that, right? That is not that important, but according to them, it is urgent. All right, this is the third quadrant. Now comes the last quadrant, where most of us are spending a lot of time. That is not important and not urgent. Now this include all the binge watching that we are doing on series, all the shows that we are watching, spending time on reels, or any unproductive activity that we are doing that falls into the category of the not important and not urgent. So what I want you to do now is, I hope you have understood the four quadrants. Please write down 2 to 3 tasks in each of these quadrants and then we'll move forward. So I hope all of you have written down some tasks in all of these quadrants. Now what is the action step you need to take and how to use it to stop procrastination? The first thing is you have to write down an action step for each quadrant. So for the quadrant of important and urgent, give that a deadline 1. That is the most important deadline. So let's say you can give a deadline of 1 week to that. Second quadrant that we have here is the important but not urgent. So give a deadline beyond the first deadline. So in the case of deadline 1, it is 1 week. You can give a deadline for 2 weeks to the second quadrant. Third quadrant of not important but urgent, you can do delegation. So delegation is the action step. Delegate it to other people or delegate to an app, right? So you can do grocery shopping through an app, right? Or you can ask someone, right, to do that work for you, right? Because that is not that urgent for you. You have to understand to be assertive and how to say no to people. And lastly, in the fourth quadrant, that is the most critical quadrant. So how will you follow this? Now this sheet, this matrix has to be made for every week, every month, and on an yearly basis. So if you miss, if you procrastinate, right, in any of the deadlines that we mentioned, deadline 1, deadline 2. So after 1 week, let's say you are spending 3 hours, right? So for the fourth quadrant, write down the number of hours you are spending on binge watching, on reels, right? You can use any app. There are a lot of apps available where you write down how much time you are spending on social media. So let's say it is 4 hours. So after 1 week, if you skip any of those tasks, right, you procrastinate, you remove the half an hour from that particular total time. So now it is 3.5 hours. What we are doing here, we are reducing your dopamine. So you will feel bad about it, right? And that will push you to stop procrastinating and doing those deadlines, right? So second time also, if you feel the same way, reduce the time to 3 hours, right? So half an hour time you have to reduce from your enjoyment or that, part of fourth quadrant of not important and not urgent, right? So that's how this tool can be used, right? So most of the time, second reason for procrastination is we put a lot of large goals in front of us that, I want to become an entrepreneur, I want to crack IIT, I want to, have a package of 30 lakhs per annum in my second year or third year. So you can use this matrix to divide your goals or tasks into 3 categories: long-term goal, medium-term goal, and short-term goals. And how does this work? So let me tell you how will you use this matrix and divide your tasks that you're writing down in this matrix into long-term goals, medium-term goals and short-term goals. So let's take the task as losing weight. You are procrastinating in the area of physical health. So let's say your long-term goal can be 1 hour of workout in a gym, right? Medium-term goal can be a 30-minute workout session and short-term goal can be a 10 minutes walk, right? So what you will write down, if you haven't exercised at any time, you just start with a short-term goal. Do it for some time, then you move to the medium-term goal, then the long-term goal. Second, I'll give an example. Let's say you want to have a switch in your career, right? So the long-term goal can be your having a switch or changing your job. So career area we are focusing here. So what will be the medium-term goal here? Finding out what job roles you want to apply and what career path you want to have. That will be my medium-term goal. And my short-term goal for this would be your creating CVs, applying to companies, right? So how does this help? You are dividing the goals into smaller parts and that is easily doable, right? That motivates you every week to keep yourself accountable, and this will stop your procrastination. What I have seen from my experience that people make big goals. When we divide them into chunks or in the smaller parts, that helps them get motivated for the longer vision, right? You can also set a timeline for it. So this matrix that we have covered, you have to make an yearly for long-term vision or long-term goals. You can make monthly Eisenhower Matrix, right, for the medium-term goal, and a weekly one for the short-term goals, right? So that's how this matrix can be used here to stop your procrastination. I hope you like this video. If you have any doubts related to any of the sections of this video, please comment down below. Share this video with your friends and family members so that they can also stop this habit of procrastination to create balance in their life. Subscribe to my channel Ask Life with Anmol. Keep growing.